Thank you. All right, guys. So one of the things that we have the privilege of having is the swipe coin scalper, right? And the swipe coin scalper actually gives us when there is a break in market structure, either to the upside or to the downside. So this doesn't specifically give us the coordinates to enter into our platform, but it does give us where to look at. Okay. Now, one of the things that this does is it notifies you on your phone. For those of you guys who have not installed the Swipe Coin app on your phone, you guys are behind. You need to do that immediately, and you need to turn your notifications on, so then that way you get those little dings every time that there's a an arrow for Ethereum and for Bitcoin, because then that way you guys know that you're going to be looking at the scalpers soon. Okay, now 19 hours ago there was a buy. Right, this buy was called out, and guys, this was a really good buy. Like you guys can see right here that it's, if you guys took it and if you guys are using it for your trading plan, you would have clearly already hit your 500 or 200 pips in this trade, right? Now, a lot of the times, this right here, when you guys are using your swipe coin scalper, just so you guys know, the way that you're going to be entering your trades is going to be a market execution. Okay. Now, I want you guys to be aware that if you are splitting your risks and you're entering more than one trade, then it's just going to be market execute, market execute, market execute. And then you're going to go back and modify the trade. Now, I do that personally because it's easier for me to get the market execution and enter closely, all three entries closely to the same entry. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to say, like, let's say right here, let's just say that this was a perfect trade and we entered exactly at 35,742, right? I want to be able to have all of the trades that I'm entering. If I'm stacking trades, I want them to all be around the same entry. So what I will do is, the minute that, like, this one broke and closed, right? And then it came up and it was coming up and then it came back down. I still personally would have waited for a little retest, which it did. It came back and kind of tested this area again and then shot up, right? But even if you would have taken it here, like here, and just, I would have market executed, market executed, market executed. And then I would have gone back to modify my trade with my safety net and my take profit. And so obviously I say this every single time, you guys, the way that you get your coordinates from one of the swipe coin trades is you're gonna use your long position or your short position. If you have a blue arrow, you're going to use your long position. Okay. So let's just say that the minute that this one started coming up, you put it right there. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and do, let's say you're doing the 200 pip profit, right? 200 pip and dip. So you're going to do 275 because I always account for the spread. Okay. And then you're going to do a 200 pip stop loss. I know it makes no sense, you guys, to do the 200 pip safety net and to catch 200 pips. But if you guys are doing it patiently, like entering the trade and entering it with enough time, then the 200 pips should be enough. And you guys should see little to zero drawdown if you guys are patient and wait. Okay. Now, in this case, you guys can see that it started coming back here, but you guys would have cleared the trade right here on these, the 200 pips would have been cleared on these green candles. Okay. So once you guys entered market execute, market execute, market execute, all three trades should be roughly around the same entry. Okay. That's the whole point, right? Now, your safety net, you're not going to know it until you guys would probably put your short position so you know it. But I would have just gone back to modify my safety net, and then I would have put in my TP at that time. Okay. Especially because, again, this you have that is going to tell you where to enter it, right? You have this green line here, this green highlighted area that says 36,212. So it's telling you where you can take profit, right? But if you guys don't have this, and let's say you market executed, then you know that each pip in Bitcoin is $1. So if you're going to catch 200 pips plus the spread, right, 275, then all you have to do is just get your 35,937 and add 275 to that, and that is your take profit. Okay. So guys, when you're using the scalper, your entry price is going to be given when you use your short position or your long position. Okay. Now, your safety net, again, even if you guys would have seen here that it did come back, you had some drawdown, but this candle right here shot up. Even if you would have done the 500 pip and dip, you guys would have cleared it. Okay. Now it did start coming back down. Once you guys would have trailed your safety net, then you probably would have gotten stopped out. But this would have been a good trade either for the 200 or the 500, and it could have cleared. Okay. Now, when you guys start trading with fibs, when you guys, how many of you guys have, I don't know if did I disable the chat? I don't think I disabled the chat. So let me know in the chat if you guys have already watched Curtis Cobain, if you guys have studied and started practicing, started throwing fibs on your chart. How many of you guys have really sat there and paid attention, taken notes, and started applying it to your trading? Like, I want to know if you guys have already taken that step or if you guys are still on the scalper. Like, if you guys, let me know in the chat. The chat is open, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So let me know in the chat, you guys. I really want to know if you guys are using fibs, if you guys have been practicing fibs. Okay, cool. So we do have some people that they've been just started learning fibs. Okay, so guys, when you get more experienced with fib trading, this is where other types of entries are going to happen. You're either going to have a buy stop or a buy limit. The only reason why I wanted to go over the scalper first, because this is something that they're giving us, they're telling us where to look for a trade, right? So the work is already being done for us. They're telling us that once it breaks and closes this area, excuse me, that confirms the buy, right? Or if it breaks and closes this area, then it would have confirmed the sell here. So they're doing the work for us. I wanted to go over the scalper first because this is perfect for anybody that is brand new, because they're helping us. They're telling us what area to look for the buy or for the sell. Now it's just our job to look for the entry. So we just have to use the long position, short position to go ahead and get those coordinates to enter into our platform. Okay. So this is a very simple way for you guys to enter the trade. Again, with patience. And when you guys wait, like, again, wait for that break and close and then take the trade. Even though this candle started coming down, you guys would have been in drawdown a little bit. That's a 15-minute candle. So you guys would have seen maybe 30 minutes of it going down. But then again, that one candle, it shot up. You would have cleared the 200 and the 500. Okay. So you guys can see here how to enter those trades. Now, when we're working with fibs, guys, it's a little different because now you have an area that you guys are going to be taking trades from. So basically, and I'm going to go back, guys, so that like where I have it marked up for some trades. Okay, let's go back. Let me go back to a good little. Okay, so let's take this cell right here. Okay. So this is a sell area. It is a sweet spot. For those of you guys that have been on my calls, then you guys already know anytime that I have either a red block or a blue block, it is a sweet spot from a fib, either drawn from high to low or low to high. Obviously, if it's a red block, that means that I'm setting up for a sell. If it's a blue block, I'm setting up for a buy, right? But you see that there is an area that I am looking for a sell. So it's not just a specific point. Like, it's not just like I'm looking for a sell at 39,196. Like, it is from 39,196 to 39,467. So I have an area that I'm looking for trades. Okay. So this is where you guys can utilize your buy limits and your buy stops, or your sell limits and your sell stops. Okay. Because now you're waiting for price to get into this area. Okay. Now, for anybody who is brand new, this is a 15-minute chart that I'm on. Okay. But I do trade on the hour and on the 4-hour, and I mark up my charts from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. If I have a chart, if I have an area, a block marked up on the bigger time frame, like let's say on the 4-hour, let's go to the 4-hour just so I can show you guys. So if we have this marked up, and I know I had one marked up somewhere over here. Where are we? There we go. So if I have like something like this marked up, right? Guys, the area from here to here, it's big. So it's a lot more than it would be on a 15 minutes. So you're looking at a distance of 1,200 pips, right? Look at that. It's 1,100 pips, you guys. So I don't think that you guys want to be in drawdown for 1100 pips. I don't think that a lot of accounts can handle drawdown for 1100 pips. Do the math, you guys. If you guys are doing 10 cents, then how much is that you'll be in drawdown? Like that is how much negative your account is going to be before it starts going back up, right? Excuse me. So I always tell people that if you guys are going to start trading fibs, the best thing that you guys can do is you guys can put alerts, okay? And this is where you guys are going to start utilizing either your sell limits, buy limits, and your stops, okay? And like, let me show you guys how, okay? So I'm going to use this sell as an example because it's a perfect little square that it actually hit. So you guys see how this one, it actually activated right there, right? You guys see this wick. Let me zoom in. Okay. So you guys see here. So this would have been the 50% of my sweet spot for the sell. Okay. And I probably did from high to low, right? And that's the sell area. So you guys see that this 50% got wicked and then it started coming down, right? Now, the best thing you could have done is obviously the minute that you're in profit, trail your safety net and then take profit. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. Who cares? Again, we already know that your safety net is a positive thing. It is not something bad. We are not sad because it hits our safety net, right? We're happy because it protected us. We're happy because it closed us out because think about it, guys. Think about how mad and let me know if this has happened to you, because it's happened to me. It still happens to me when I forget to trail my safety net, right? But let's say that this activated and I'm in profit. So I'm in profit now here. I see it that I'm actually like 456 pips in profit. So I see blue on my screen. I'm excited because I'm like, hell yeah, it's going the direction that I want it to go. But then I forget to trail my safety net, which I probably would have trailed it at least 100, 200 pips, from where I entered it. Like, so from here, I would have done at least 100 or 200 pips. And let's say I didn't, right? And so I'm over here like, yeah. And I forget to trail my safety net. And then I see it go up to the point where I'm negative. And now I'm negative from here to here, another like 300 pips. Like, how many of you guys have had that happen to you where you're like, I should have just trailed my safety net. I should have just taken profit. I should have done this, because now you guys are like, shit, what if it just reversed? And what if it did? What if that would have been that one trade where you got some pips and then it like reversed and it went back up? And imagine if that was a trade that got shot up to the moon, right? Like, you guys it would have stopped you guys out, first of all, because I pray that you guys are using safety nets regardless, right? But imagine if you guys just didn't use a safety net and you guys just didn't use any proper risk management rules and it just like shot up, right? So this has happened to me a lot, you guys. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you guys. So right here, you guys should have trailed your safety net, and then the minute that it started going back up, let it stop you out in profit. Let it stop you out in 200 pips in profit. Guys, that's 200 pips more that you guys didn't have before. Okay, so let's say you're doing 10 cents. Okay, you made $20, guys. Now your account has $20 more, right? But then watch this, you guys. It came back up. So obviously this one activated. So now there's no longer a trade there. But when you saw it going up, and if you see, I don't know how you guys enter your trades, but I personally always enter one at the 50, and I usually do one in the middle and then one at the 618. So me personally, like, this would have activated my two other trades. But what I always tell people is to put an alarm. I don't know if you guys are familiar with TradingView, but TradingView, if you look over here on the right-hand side, there's a little plus sign. If you click the plus sign right here, you guys can actually add an alarm. Wait, why isn't it letting me add an alarm? Okay, guys, I don't know why it's not working for me, but the little plus sign, when it opens, it'll say like alarm, and you can actually set it up so it gives you an alarm when it gets to that area. Okay, so like if you see it going back up, then set an alarm to when it hits like your 618 or even the middle, so then that way you guys can keep an eye on it. And this is why, you guys, not so you guys can I mean, obviously you want to try and catch the highest entry for a sell, but imagine that you guys just get the alarm. You put the alarm here and you want to have a safe entry, put a sell stop here and catch the momentum on the way down. Does that make sense? Like I always tell people that if it, let's say this one even stops you out. Let's say that you guys, it would have kept going up. Then let it stop you out. Okay, boo-hoo-hoo. If it keeps going up, the minute that it starts coming back down, then you guys can go ahead and catch the momentum on the way down and utilize your stops. Buy stop, sell stop. It goes for the same thing for the way back up, right? Excuse me. And I feel like that is a safer entry as opposed to a limit, because then you're catching the momentum on the way down. So then you're, oh, there it is. Now it gave me the alert, a little late, but hey. So there you go, you guys. You guys can alert, it can alert you when you guys have that area. Okay. So there you go, you guys. That's one of the things that I always like to use. So again, for those of you guys that don't know the difference between I'm going to use a sell in this case because we are looking at a sell limit and a sell stop. So a sell limit would have been your price is lower than where you want to enter. Okay. So you enter a sell stop here, meaning that you expect price to come up, hit your area, and then come down. Okay. So that way you don't have to be watching it and market execute when it gets there and then go there, right? To watch it go down. So it's, you're down here, right? Price is down here, but you know it could hit this area. So you put a sell stop, hits your area, activates it, and then it'll start coming down, right? Now, that's a sell limit. A sell stop is when price is higher than where you want to enter. So in this case, price is up here, right? So we're going to enter a sell stop right here. So that way it hits your sell stop, activates it, and it keeps going down, right? So those are the difference between the two. Now, again, if you set the alarm for the 50% instead of a sell limit or a buy limit, because again, it works the same on the way up. But if you set an alarm, then your trading view will notify you. And you guys, I have trading view on my phone for this reason, because if I set an alarm, I want to be notified. I don't care where I'm at. I will bust out my computer and I'll look at it, or I'll do it on my phone, right? And so this is going to let me know, hey, price has reached the area that you wanted it to reach. Now take a look at it, right? So in this case, if I would have put a little notification, an alarm for the 618, right? Or even for the middle, and I could have just watched it, then I could have seen that price kept coming up, but then the candle ended up obviously closing lower. So putting a sell stop here would have been perfect, because then I could have caught the momentum down. Okay. So here you're still entering the trade. And in this case, you guys, you can put in the coordinates, because now here you already know, right? That your actual, let's put the short position here. Okay. So you guys already know that your actual, let's say 200 pips for your safety net right there. Okay. And I mean, you guys could either do your 200 pip and dip or your 500 pip and dip, or you guys can do multiple trades, right? And then that way you guys can take care of those trades and then stop trading for the day, depending on what you're following on your trading plan. Or if you guys are trading on your separate account, right? Because I told you that it would be best if you had a separate account for your trading plan and then another account for you to trade, just to catch those big moves. If you guys would have been trading on your other trading plan, then you guys could have just kept trailing your TP. So in this case, you guys, you would have already known the coordinates. So you would have, once price is up here somewhere, and you guys already know to enter at this price, right? So you guys are entering at 39,206. So you're going to go into your MetaTrader, Bitcoin, trade. Then you're going to put where it says market execution, you're going to push it and put sell stop. And then you're going to put 39,206. Then for your safety net, you're going to put 39,661. And then for your TP, you can leave it open and then just keep trailing it. The minute that you're 500 pips in profit, then you can move your safety net and then just keep moving your safety net and just keep moving your safety net. If you guys would have gotten stopped out somewhere around here, let's say that you got stopped out the minute that this candle started coming back up, that's still almost 1,500 pips, you guys. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is a good way for you guys to eliminate getting stopped out with your buy or sell limits, because of this. Because chances of them going into your, like, all the way to the 618 are pretty high. I mean, that block is a pretty big, it's a big area, right? It's even bigger again when you're on the higher time frames. And if you're trading on the 15-minute, and let's say it goes past your 618, there is a very good chance that it could be a 786, 886 entry, which if you go to the higher time frame, you'll notice that it's probably the sweet spot of either the 1 hour or the 4 hour. So this is where you guys have to really, really, really utilize all of the hours. You got to look at the daily, you got to look at the 4 hour, you got to look at the 1 hour, and you got to look at the 15-minute, and you have to mark them up. You have to mark up, if you draw a fib on the daily and you find a sweet spot, mark it up and put it there. You guys, you already know that you can add a text. If you guys come here, you guys can add a text, right? Boom, you can add whatever you want on there. So you guys can put sweet spot of the daily, right? Then you go to the 4 hour. And if you find something, now the daily and the 4 hour sweet spot will be similar, because that's like the high to the low or low to the high is probably going to be the same on the daily to the 4 hour. Now, the 1 hour and the 15-minute will be kind of similar, but not really. So you really still have to mark it up and be, okay, 1 hour sweet spot, 15-minute sweet spot. Because let's say that this is the buy area for the 15-minute, but then for the 1 hour, it's a little bit lower, right? And if you draw a fib, if you leave your fib drawn on the 15-minute, then you'll notice that the 786, 886, it's right in the sweet spot of the 1 hour. So there is a very strong possibility that it could go to that area for the entry, for the buy. So instead of setting a buy limit and possibly getting stopped out, enter an alert. And then that way you can watch it. And even if you enter an alert at the 50%, and you see that it only goes down a little bit and then it goes back up, that is still better, you guys, than entering a buy, like a buy limit here, and then coming down here and literally getting stopped out. Does that make sense? Like, I would prefer for you guys to enter the alert and get on the chart and watch it, and then enter like accordingly to whatever you see, then for you guys to just set that buy limit or sell limit, and then just, oh, if it goes to the 618, oh, well, it'll stop me out. Because then more than likely, I feel that it will scare most people and they won't want to get in, because then they're like, what if it keeps going back down? Not knowing that it could just go fill those areas and then jump back up, right? For a buy, or for the sell, go up a little bit and then just like right here, it came down, came back up, retested the area, and then it shot down, right? Now on the 15-minute, you guys actually have a little bit of confirmation, because you guys have the swipe coin, right? And so if swipe coin is telling you that there's a sell here and you guys already drew some fibs, then you guys already know that, okay, then it's gonna go down. Like, there's a good possibility that it's gonna go down, because the swipe coin scalper is measuring momentum, and so it could be there, especially if it's already crossed your support or resistance. So that's a confirmation for you guys too. But I want you guys to understand, because I did have some people that they were messaging me saying that they were getting stopped out, and I was noticing that it was because of the buy limits or the sell limits that they were using. And so I want you guys to don't sleep on the stops, on the buy stops or the sell stops, because catching the momentum on the way down, like in this case, you guys would have cleared your 200, 500. And even if you would have just trailed your safety net, you could have caught 1,500 pips. And guys, again, these are 15-minute candles. So you guys can see here within a few hours, you would have closed out that trade and your account would have been higher. Your balance would have grown because you would have closed out that trade. And then trailing your safety net, guys, protects you from this. Okay. If you guys wouldn't have trailed your safety net thinking that this one is going to keep going down, like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to 10,000, right? I'm going to just leave it open. But then it goes right back up. Like, look at all of this. So trailing your safety net, guys, protects you, protects your account from it being eaten up by the crazy moves that crypto has been seeing lately. And this is all crypto, you guys, not just Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. They've all been moving really crazy lately. Okay. So Your safety net is important regardless. You already know I'm like just on repeat with that every single Monday. I'm going to keep them till I drive it into you guys' head, your safety nets. But now you guys know the difference, whether you want to use a buy stop or a sell stop. I'm sorry, a sell stop or a sell limit, or a buy stop or a buy limit. So this way you guys can use these tools that are there for us. Like this trading view, the notifications that it gives us, like these little alerts that we can actually put to alert us when it gets to an area, because you guys can take that time to just look at the chart. And then if you guys are using other indicators like me, that I have my Bollinger Bands and I have my 50 EMA, and then I use like the MACD, those are added confirmations for me. If I notify myself, if I get the alert and then I'm here at the 618, and at that moment, like I see that everything okay, like I see it's on the top of the Bollinger Band, I see like all these confirmations for me, then okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put my sell stop right here, and then just catch it on the way down. So that little alert, you guys, can first of all get you to watch the chart at that moment. So you set up this sweet spot over here, right? You did this high to low and you set it up. So none of this has played out yet. So the minute that you get that alert, now you're looking at the chart in real time. Now you're looking at it because it hit that area. And guys, trust me, when you get those alerts, you even feel good because you're like, damn, I knew it was going to go to that area. So it gives you that confidence, like, hey, I'm doing something right because I put an alert, it's getting to that area, and you know, I'm getting it. So it gives you that confidence, like, okay, I'm doing something right. Okay. Now, once you guys are using this chart, you guys are looking at it in real time, your mindset is going to be different than it was from when you did this high to low and you marked it up. Because now you're looking at it, okay, you're looking at the other confirmations. Like, see, at that point right here, it overshot the Bollinger Band a little bit. And if you guys know Bollinger Band theory, which I know a lot of you do, because a lot of you have traded HFX, then you guys know that if it overshoots the Bollinger Band, chances of it coming down at least to that middle of the band are really high. In this case, it went all the way down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So right there, that would have been perfect for me to be like, okay, that's it, sell stop at the 50. So then I would have put a sell stop here. Now, guys, another thing, I'm not greedy. I am not going to try and enter it right here and just put like market execute for the sell, right? I know that we want to be risky at some times, but I want you guys to enter safe trades. What am I always telling you guys? Safe entries. So then that way you guys can minimize your drawdown, minimize your lessons, and maximize your profits. Okay. So I would not have been greedy and tried to market execute a sell at that point. I would have waited and put that sell stop so I make sure that I'm catching the momentum on the way down. Because in that way, I know the trade is just activating and boom, boom, boom. It's just going to ride it all the way down, which in this case, it played out. It did it. Okay. Now, your buy limits, like let's say in this case, if you guys would have put a buy limit here, you would have been in drawdown, and then you would have caught some pips, right? Let's see, from here to here. Again, like another like 400 something pips, 500 pips. So you guys would have trailed your safety net. You guys would have gone and stopped out. See, in this case, it came all the way down to the 618. So this is where I tell you guys, this is a perfect example of trailing your safety net. Like here, let's say you guys would have done 50 cents. That would have been like 250 bucks that you would have just been in profit. And then it came back down. Let's say that now you guys, when you saw it, that you were watching it, that it came back down to the 618. Let's say you put a buy stop, let's say somewhere in the middle or even at the 50, and you did it again. Let's say you caught it at the middle. Let's say you guys caught another buy stop right here, right? That's not even the middle, is it? Right there. Okay, because you saw it come down to the 618, so you went ahead and put a buy stop here, and you did it again. You guys wrote it up, trailed your safety net, got stopped out, let's say at another 300 pips. Okay, so now you made another 150 bucks. Then it came back down and it did the same thing. So let's say we play it out again and you do another trade at you do another buy stop here at the middle. Okay, and then you write it up, and this time you trailed your safety net. Let's say you got stopped out somewhere right here, another 500 pips. So let's say another 250 bucks that you would have caught right there. Okay. And in this case, it had already activated into your sell area. So That's what you guys would have gotten. You would have caught the 250, the 150, and another 250. So 650 pips, or no, dollars, because that was already at 50 cents. So guys, that would have been a good little bag. I don't care what anybody says. The small profits add up. Whether it's 20 bucks, $2, it adds up. Look at the trading compounding plan that I gave you guys. That is proof that $2, then $4, then $6, it all adds up. Like when you guys are adding up the small amounts, then you guys can take home the big profits. Okay. So these little stops, getting stopped out and then it coming back down, don't be sad because it's coming back down. It's just another opportunity for you to get in. Boom. Again, boom. Same with this one. It activated your sell here, came down. You would have gotten stopped out in profit, got back in. And then look at this one, guys. This one ran all the way down for 1,500 pips. It ran down more, but I'm just being reasonable because I trail my safety net. So I would have gotten stopped out. But let's say you guys are more riskier than me. You guys could have caught close to 2,000 pips on that trade, right? Gotten stopped out somewhere up here, right? So it's still around 1,600 pips. This is what I want you guys to understand, that when you guys learn how to enter the trades safely, okay? Because all three of them are correct. Whether you market execute, whether you buy stop, sell stop, buy limit, sell limit, they're all correct ways to enter trades. But are they correct for that specific move, right? Is it the entry that you should be taking for that specific move? That's where you guys got to ask yourselves, okay? So safely is what we're looking for, okay? I want you guys to be profitable traders, but safely. I don't want you guys to be like these big risk takers. Like we're already risk takers by trading. You guys are aware of that, right? The amount of people that are successful with trading, the percentage, I would like to know the percentage, because this is a big risk already. You know, we are analyzing a chart and we are making moves, you know, based on these analysis that we have learned and we're applying to this market. And so we're already taking a risk as it is. So now the next best thing is to enter safely, use proper risk management. And then that way you guys can maximize those profits and minimize those lessons. Okay. The lessons will teach you, though. I will tell you that it is inevitable, and you guys all will have a lesson at one point in your trading career. But that lesson should teach you on what not to do the next time, right? If you guys would have taken this trade and not use a safety net and then had it go back up, and you literally didn't use a safety net at all, and so you guys got stopped out in, I don't know, let's say 500, 600, 700 pips in, you know, drawdown, like that's how much you lost. I guarantee that the next time you trade, you're going to think twice about not using a safety net, right? So every time that you guys are entering a trade, ask yourselves, is this a safe entry for me? Is this the best, safest entry for me? Okay, add that to your checklist. Like if you guys have a checklist for taking a trade, add that sentence. Is this the safest entry for me to take? Okay, and that is why last week I went over the the safe entries on a trending market, because like in this case, right, once, let me delete this now. So like once we had this low to high, right, this could be a buy area. Let's actually mark it up, right? Because this was a little bit of a trending market here, trending area. So here we have this low. Actually, guys, hold on. Let me move it. There we go. All right. So from here, the low to this high, I think this is actually what I marked up last week, if I'm not mistaken. But like you see here, this was the 50% 618. That was a 786 entry. But this, guys, would have been, that entry would have stopped you out, right? This, if you guys would have got in the 50, then it came all the way down almost to the 886. So, but if it did, guys, this is a perfect opportunity. Check this out. Once it did this, again, you guys could have just seen it and then put your buy stop here. So even if you would have gotten stopped out here, you would have lost 200 pips, but then you guys would have entered, okay, again. Now, this is another low and this is another high, and this is going to be another good entry. And then again, this is a low, this is a high, then, and so on and so forth, right? So you guys can see that the safer entries on a trending market is what you want to enter, because you do want to enter You don't want to miss the trades. Nobody wants to miss the trades, especially if it's a trade that Picasso calls out. Everybody wants the trades, right? Because sometimes those trades Picasso calls out are going for like 10,000 pips. But instead of entering blindly, you guys now understand that there is a safe way that you guys can enter the market. Either the sweet spot, which is the 50% 618, or you guys can draw the fib. And if it doesn't reach the sweet spot, then you guys know that if it's between the white hot zone, which is the 236 and the 382, then you guys can do buy stops on the way up. Same in the trending market down, you can do sell stops on the way down. And you guys can see here, in this case, when it started coming down, if you guys would have drawn a fib from this high to this low right here, see, this is what I'm talking about. The trend, this wasn't an active fib because it didn't even pass the 382, but you guys could have taken a sell stop here and then entered to catch the big move down, right? Again, you guys could have done this high to this low and seen where this is, and then again just kept going. So you guys, if you didn't watch that video, if you didn't catch that training last Monday, then you guys can go to my YouTube and watch it, rewatch it there. But we go over just the safer way for you guys to enter a trending market so you guys can get in safely and you guys can take advantage of the moves, whether to the upside or to the downside, okay? Now, right now, let's look at what Bitcoin is doing right now. I know that the swipe coin scalper had called a buy, but right now it's actually going down. So let's look at the swipe coin scalper. Let's refresh it, see if there's anything that's been called out. Look at that, guys, 10 minutes ago, boom. I had already taken a sell, but this is something that you guys can now watch, okay? So there was a sell that was given out here, okay? I just refreshed it. You guys all saw 10 minutes ago, the swipe coin scalper called out a sell, all right? So they already marked it up for you. Again, they're doing the work for you guys. It says here that in order for it to be a valid sell, it needs to break and close below 36,577. So they're telling you that once it breaks this and closes, then it could be a safe sell to take, okay? Now, you guys, I had already marked it up. I don't know why. I'd have to go back and, oh, I know why. Check this out, guys. I'm going to show you. And I'll show you here because I don't know if I have it marked up here. I think I have it marked up on my I have it marked up on my phone. But was it on this one? Check it out, guys. This is it? Why did I go to the 2 hour? Okay, my bad. So check it out, guys. This is the 4 hour, okay? So I marked up this high to this low, I believe. That's what I did. And it hit right into my sweet spot for the sell. So that's why I had taken the sell. So I have, let me just delete all of these so you guys can see. We don't need them anyways. So this was my sell area. And I have it marked up on my phone, like I said, you guys, because I was already in a sell, but I didn't remember why. Let me show you. There it is. Okay. So you guys can see here, because I had it marked up on the 4 hour, I already knew that that was an area that I was going to look at. So I'm actually in a sell right now, and then I'm just going to wait for it to play out. So this is something that I have marked up. I already, I'm in this trade, but the swipe coin scalper actually called it out as well. So now we would just have to wait to see once it breaks and closes this, then it could be a valid sell to the downside. Okay. Let me see what the chat says, you guys. I apologize. I don't usually check the chat when I'm talking. What's up? Just start using fibs. Thank you. Taking a 4 hour 50. That was a 4 hour. This is on the 4 hour, you guys. This is the 4 hour chart. Okay. So I had already marked it up on the 4 hour. Now on the 15, you guys can see the area, how big it was, right? There's a lot. This is what I like to show people, is that there's a lot of movement within the 4 hour move, the big moves. So you guys can see here, this is the 15-minute chart. So there was a lot of buys to get to that sell. Okay, I was in a few buys before I took profit. Guys, any chance that I get to take profit, I'm going to take it. Okay, so here you go. You guys, you have all of these trades that you could have possibly taken. If there's anything, the only thing that I would have seen is maybe this low to this high that I could have maybe seen something. Yep, you can see here that this would have been the 50% 618. And I'll drag it out this way so you guys can see here. Because I would have marked it up from here and it's right there. But if I would have gone to the 1 hour, I probably would have seen it more clearly. So here we go. So yeah, so there you go, you guys. You can see all of these trades from here to here. That would have been a 50% 618 right there. This is the lowest closing candle to this one. See? Oh, it went a little bit lower. That was a 786 entry, you guys. There you go. Blue. But you see how here it went all the way to the, where is it? 786 entry right there. Let's make that green because that's my 786. There you go. So you guys could have caught that buy into that sell. So, I mean, in the 15-minute, you still have more moves in between. You guys can see. But that's what I'm looking at right now, you guys. I did get into the sell. Now, for those of you guys asking, like here, this is the 15-minute, right? So the swipe point scalper obviously called it here. So it needs to break and close here. Look at this. So now we have a high and we have a low because you have this candle that came up a little bit and this one is still kind of there. So if you guys mark this high to low, how low can you go? That's still a sell, right? So you see here that this is a 236 entry, or this is a 236, this is a 382. So this could possibly come up here, or it could come up all the way in here for another entry for the sell. So you guys can see here that this could be a possible other sell area. Okay, because that's on the 15-minute. So it's kind of like a sell within a sell. Does that make sense? So right now, I mean, my safest bet would just be to watch the swipe point scalper. If you do draw fibs, I mean, you guys can probably get in a little bit sooner than the swipe point scalper. But if you want to have a safe trade, then just wait for it to break and close below the area, which is around right here that they're calling it. So this is the area that you guys would have to wait for it to break and close in order for it to be a valid trade. So once it breaks and close, then you guys can go ahead and take that sell safely. And you guys could catch either your 200, 500, or take it on another trading account and then just leave it open. Or you guys can do the multiple trades, however you guys want to do it. But that is what I'm looking at for right now. Let me see if there's anything else. No, I think that's it because I'm already in this sell. Let me see. Is it open? My trading, yeah. So here you go, you guys. You guys can see that wait, can you see? See, I took some cells up here and I took some other cells here. So yeah, I'm a bit in profit right now. So but that way you guys can see that I'm not, I show you guys what I do. Like I take what I show you guys. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope that you guys understood entries a little bit more. I hope you guys understood the difference between a buy stop, a sell stop, you know, buy limit, sell limit, and when to utilize them. And I hope that you guys take advantage and start using your trading view like as much as you can, because as you guys can see, like these alerts, everything that you guys can do with this chart, it's just going to help you in the long run with your trading career. Okay.